the Sword of Mercury. So today, we do not have actually a specific topic. I just wanted to do what we might call traditional ASMR without the stuff we're usually used to on this channel of exploring various topics. So today we're just going to be doing some old-fashioned ASMR and just to do some mouth sounds, do some clicking noises, tapping on some stuff, and relaxing. Who knows, we might even get crazy and do some affirmations. So, buckle up and let's get started. Fashion style's starting to grow on me a little. I know typically, even though this is supposed to be an ASMR channel, I've always made this channel more about the information that one can easily interpret while going off to sleep. Maybe every once in a while you need a reminder that it's okay to get back to the basics. Just being honest, some of the viewership has fallen off lately around this channel. Part of that is I've been engaging more so on other projects lately. Partly due to the reason that it seems that the growth of this channel is at somewhat of a plateau, and I kind of don't know where I want to take it. Maybe what I would ask you guys, if you did have any suggestions around that, would be that if you were to comment what you like most, or prefer most, or find most unique about this channel that makes you want to watch it, as opposed to all the other ASMR content. I try to make this channel as engaging, as diverse as possible, because I don't want to make it just like all the other ASMR channels out there, because really I'm not really an ASMR creator. I don't consider myself to be so much of an ASMR creator. I'm just somebody who wants to spread information in an interesting way. as always, I link all of my podcasts and content in the description below. Let's find a new trigger. Ooh, this might make a nice one. I like that. Got the Apple headphone boxes. Or Apple headphone box. Maybe I should just make this channel from now on just me actually doing ASMR, but just rambling on about stuff. Now, the only reason I actually even got into ASMR in the first place is because of a woman, and not just any woman, but a very special woman. Although, let me just say this, I have never been, and I shall never be, down bad for a girl in my entire life. With that being said, though, I do believe the cosmos has ways of, shall we say, whispering to you when something about a certain female stands out to you. Ironically enough, she is an ASMR creator. And it got me thinking that perhaps this could be a new way for me to share information by me taking up the same, how shall we say, niche. I gotta say, the first ASMR video I ever uploaded, it was on Aura, and it was like 3 minutes long. It was more so just for fun. I just want to see what happened, or what would happen. I actually didn't expect to get that many views, considering that, like, my podcast doesn't get that many views, mainly just because I do not advertise it that well. You know, when you're in college, you don't have time that much to be doing all the, how should we say, technical things with it. You just want to push the content out there, make it as good as you can, and authentic as you can right off the bat with as least editing as possible. Because one, you have a time constraint, but two, you want to do something that stands out different from the rest of what people on YouTube do. You know, always when I made content, I always wanted to be that guy. Well, I always wanted to be that guy. Well, I know I am that guy, but I always wanted to be that guy who anybody who's watching my content can look to and say, you know, I know that even if I'm listening to what he says, and maybe it's hard for me to hear, or, you know, I don't necessarily always 100% agree, I know this is somebody who's going to tell me like it is. Like, when I listen to this person, I know that he says what he says because he genuinely believes it's the truth, and it's somebody whose opinion I can respect because they're not being influenced to say certain things by sponsorship or by political affiliation or by, social groups or whatever, any kind of pressure from any outside thing. And I feel like that's what makes certain ASMR creators like myself, or just creators in general, makes it hard for them to actually come up, because you're doing so from the point of view that you wish to be authentic, and that means that you can't rely or lean on any social group to, let's say, assist the growth of your channel, because you're doing so from an independent perspective. You're saying, this is me and this is how I see things, and I'm not affiliated with any, social circle or religious background or political affiliation or, whatever. And you don't lean on that. You say, hey, this is me. I'm authentic. I have all these qualities about me. And if you like watching me, then I welcome your support. And it doesn't have to be one thing over the other. It doesn't have to be, oh, well, we all like this thing, so that's why we watch the channel. It could be like one person could like you because of the ASMR style you bring to the information. One person could like you because of the information which you bring. One person could like you because of your persona. You're a martial artist, you're a content creator, you're a podcaster, you're into overcoming the limitations of the system. You're into spirituality, you're into being awake as an individual. You understand the necessity for principles, or should I say principalities, which governs your character. You understand the value of not being a total sellout like most of the competition out there. Your dialogue is not scripted, it's authentic 100%, which makes it challenging for you to create in some ways, because you're not viewing it from the perspective of, oh, how can I appease the algorithm? You're viewing it from the perspective of, I am who I am. Let the algorithm flow to me. Alright, I think we have had enough of that trigger. I was gonna bust out the salt, but I don't know, it might be too intense actually for specific. You know what? I'll bust out this because the woman I spoke of earlier, she's a real fan of. It's really funny. I changed my my outfit style today. Typically, I like to stick with one style for a long time. If I haven't mentioned it on this channel already, typically I have multiple pairs of the same outfits, because I just like my wardrobe enough to stick to one style for a prolonged period of time, and then change it when I feel like it. I'm almost like an anime character in the sense that almost every time you see me, generally I'll be wearing the same, like, wardrobe style. So I'll have, like, multiple pairs of the same, like, jeans or shirts, socks, sweatpants, whatever, you name it. Obviously, like, one unique jacket or whatever that's part of that outfit, but my point is that I'll wear that style for, like, a long time until I feel like it's time to switch it up, because I like to stick to things on a longer term basis. I feel like people they're too quick to switch off styles. I like my style enough to stick to it for, a period at a time. So I'm like an anime character. You'll see me, like, wearing the same, like, wardrobe week after week. Just because, like, I feel like it makes things less complicated. But in any case, what I was gonna say is earlier, after, like, busting out the sweater again, I know maybe you guys have not seen it in a little while, but, like, I was looking at, myself in the mirror today, or should I say in the reflection of glass, the window, and I looked at myself and I said something along the lines of, like, tell me honestly when you look in that reflection that you do not see her. I feel like that's almost the true meaning of, like, a twin soul, or a twin flame, or whatever it's called. Like, when you look at yourself in the mirror, can you see them? It's ironic that, even before I laid eyes on this girl for the first time, we almost have this very similar and unique wardrobe sense. Even the same taste in drinks, I guess we shall say. But, she likes to wear, like, white and black as well. She has a particular thing for the color purple, which up until recently was, I would say one of my favorite colors. It's probably still one of my favorite. Let's see what else we got for a trigger. She would love this, actually. Little spooky cup. She's an October girl. I believe that's Libra, I think. In any case. I always preach that, or trumpet, I should say. Never be down bad for a girl. In the sense where you let your lust and lower emotions blind you. Understand the difference between that and genuine love for someone. When you love somebody, you're drawn to them by what they represent. Something more than just, like, oh, this girl's so cute, blah blah blah. It's like, everybody has some physical feature that you can name that you like. It's genuinely rare to meet somebody who you say, there's something different about this one. And it goes beyond what you can see. It's almost like something spiritual, you can sense it in the air. It's like a scent in the wind. It's almost like when, if you've ever seen Inuyasha, when Sesshomaru's like, the scent in the wind has changed. It's almost like that. You can smell it. You can sense something has changed. The aura around you. This girl says she doesn't believe in aura, but if auras are real, then she hopes hers is purple. If she's watching this, there's a good chance that it is purple. A lot of people might never understand your perspective on these things. Like twin flame, cosmic alignment, blah blah. But it's important to have ideals that tether you to what you believe and who you are at your very core. It doesn't matter that it sounds crazy to a lot of people. It matters what the end result is. It's almost like when athletes go to perform in whatever sport they're doing, and they have like the superstition of believing like the lucky charm they carry is what will make them win. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It matters that it assists you and assists you with feeling empowered, and that you're on the right path, and that you're genuinely being you to your fullest capacity. A lot of people might not understand that, but I do. I understand that all too well. There's a lot of people out there who will judge you in your life, but remember that just because somebody doesn't share the same perspective as you, or they look at your beliefs and ideals and philosophies as being too far-fetched, that it shouldn't keep you from being who you are. Because the truth is, everybody out there is messed up. People try to disguise and try to pretend and put up their smoke and mirrors, but everybody has something they wish to hide, or wish that they wish not to be on display, because they're genuinely scared of being who they are in front of other people. You shouldn't let things like that stand in your way. There's a saying I really like, and it says that bullies only win if you let them change who you are. I would say that's exactly right. There's a whole culture even going around of like, on social media, and I'm all for personal development, don't get me wrong, so when I say this, of like guys being like, oh yeah, that girl who worked you, that motivates you to go to the gym, and now you're not wasting time chasing girls, blah 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 blah. I'd say that looking at things through a lens of how can this help my personal development is always healthy, but don't let the experience that you had with one person taint your future, because remember, you should always resolve to be the best version of yourself through all the experiences experiences that you've encountered. And what I mean by that is, for example, say you're a guy watching this and you have an interaction with a girl that is not so pleasant. That doesn't mean that all your interactions with girls will be like that. Same thing for a girl who's watching, and you have an interaction with a guy that's not so pleasant. Don't let that taint your future endeavors or relationships, because if you act from, oh, this person hurt me, or, oh, well, all girls or all guys are the same, blah, 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 you've let that person influence your experience of the world and your viewpoint. So it's important that after all of these interactions, you resolve to be the best version of yourself if anything has affected you in any way. Because the truth is that if you are comfortable with who you are, it will show. A lot of people who are not comfortable with who they are, it's almost like this hard culture goes around of like, oh, well, this person has done me wrong, so, my heart is cold forever. But you're letting that person influence you too much. And sometimes, even if she is the one, you must let her go in some sense to actually be the person who can be with her. So regardless of your experience, always know that you being you is the most important thing at the end of the day. Because the heart does not lie, the soul does not lie. What else do we have here? Let's get the tappy marker out. Excuse me, almost knocking over my tea. I kinda enjoy just talking with you guys like this because, to be honest, it feels nice just to air things, like simple things about the world and philosophy. Which is maybe the thing that was missing from this channel all along, just simple conversation. So if you enjoy this, make sure to leave a like or comment that, I want to hear more simple conversation or something. But in relation to what I was saying, being yourself is always the most important thing you can do. Why is that? Because nobody in the world is like you. There's never been somebody like you, and you are developing in every moment. Every moment that passes is an opportunity for you to be the more capable version of yourself. So don't let other people's influence in the field affect you. You are the person at the end of the day who gets to decide who you want to be. And that's the way it should be. And a lot of people will quit on say for example love. They never really bought into the idea in the first place. Like me, I don't know, I'm a pretty lovesick fool in terms of belief that, there is a one out there, and when you finally meet her, you should be like Inuyasha and Kagome, basically lovers from across time or predestined. should never lose hope in that. That could happen for you. Everything you could see around you, everything that was ever made in all of human history was done through just willpower alone and belief in an idea. It's important not to forget what you're fighting for. And I feel like that's the biggest thing in this age, 21st century, that most people don't know what they're fighting for anymore. The system tries to tell people who they should be, how they should be. You must discover that within yourself. And it's nice that things even like that we're starting to see pop back up, like anime and all these things that young people like myself are like, we can see the connection with our souls through it. We see the breaking of societal norms. We see the themes of true love. We see how, mysticism and spirituality have an impact on things. We see how, the concept of friendship is imperative. We see how the themes of good triumphing over evil can be seen through the films and through TV shows and through, all of it. The most important thing is that we never lose faith in those things, because it's really whether you believe it's possible which will determine whether it is. And on a long enough time frame, if you genuinely believe in your heart in those concepts, you will get it one way or another. There's a saying I really like, that which is in your heart cannot be lost, because it's in your heart. Long enough. Let me know if you enjoyed. Excuse my extra sound effects there. And just know that if there are any other lovesick fools out there watching this, like myself, there are others out there like you who have not lost hope. Keep believing in love. Keep believing in yourself. Be unhurt by the outside world. Know who you are within your heart. Because you are worthy of that which you seek. One thing I'll end off with especially around this concept of love and being destined for things, is that the 21st century, everything is nowadays about lust, about, sexual desires running rampant with no tameness or no sense of restraint or guidance by higher principles towards the true meaning of what a relationship should be. And I invite you to contemplate this, especially with the basis of this channel being around personal development and strength. And if your end goal is to be strong, I invite you to contemplate this. If things that are hard make you strong, and things that are easy make you weak, and lust and all of those lower emotions that are based off lower sexual instinct and the lack of guidance by higher principles is easy, if flings, if hookups, if all of those lower desires without genuine love and connection is easy, and if love is hard and hard things make you strong, then engaging in lust, which is the opposite of love in this case, must make you weak. Because if love is hard and hard things make you strong, then lust must make you weak. I invite you to contemplate that. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I will ask you to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell down below. And if you believe in love, just know that every like and subscribe and every piece of support you give unto me assists me in getting back to that woman who I should very much like to be reunited with. So I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know if you'd like to see more content like this, which is based off just me doing ASMR and just talking with you guys instead of having a specific topic. Like, this has nothing to do with today's concept, but I just left it up. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave a comment below if you would like to see more content like this. I'll link all of my links to my other podcast, Moonstruck and Athlete Enlightened, in the description below. I'll soon have the link for Rogers, in which you can watch my podcast Moonstruck on Rogers TV. Well, when I have that, I will let you guys know, and I will link it also in the description below. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. I will link that below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all your guys' support. Makes me feel like I have a community around that genuinely values the input I put out there. So thank you. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Remember, this is brought to you by the Prince of Mercury. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.